So far, this channel has benefited from bringing back stuff from the past. Doing Nuzlocke challenges and Pokémon had been stable amongst many gaming YouTubers. The same goes for tier ranking lists, being more of the cliché for uncreative content creation. However, it works. Hence, I plan to do another video ranking stuff like what TV characters I could beat in a fight, my favorite video game series, or wait, who put that on the screen? Get lost! Doing my research, I realized there are many ranking lists for TV shows from my childhood, but none did really include all of the ones I remember watching. The plan was simple. I had to create a list of my own. Going through several Wikipedia pages, BuzzFeed articles and YouTube videos, I was overwhelmed with the amount of TV shows I have watched as a child and had forgotten about. Some TV series are very well known and still as of today, others not so much. I could not possibly rank them all in video, especially with not being able to fix the moving of the screen capture when dragging an 8th or 9th element into a row and messing up the whole scene. Instead, I wrote the script and made an entire video of me ranking my childhood TV shows. We love nostalgia, don't we? It is important to note that this is not an evaluation in hindsight, but more of me trying to remember how much I liked those shows when I was younger. Looking back, some series were horrible, some underrated and underappreciated. Without further ado, let's start with the shows which I didn't have any strong feelings about. Some were middle of the road. We should get them out of the way before going into the really intriguing territory. I watched most of these shows because I was either waiting for more exciting ones to start afterwards, or because I had nothing else to do. Hey, I kinda loved writing and reading from the television, wanted watching Jungle Diet Hugo or Ned's Nude in the process as well. I might just go through this part quickly. Hey Arnold, Bob the Builder, Caillou, Cat Dog, Clone Wars, Drake and Josh, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, George of the Jungle, Hercules, Hannah Montana, iCarly, Johnny Test, Marsupilami, The Little Mermaid, Timmy Goes to School, Zoe 101, Ned's Ultimate Middle School Survival Guide, Mona the Vampire, which is basically just Buffy the Vampire Slayer for kids, Sabrina, Pepper Ann, Phineas and Ferb, Power Rangers, Simsalakrim. Did I forget something? Probably. Do I care? Nope. More interesting are the TV shows I was not a fan of, because I was mostly watching the German kids TV channel Super RTL and sometimes Nick at my friend's house. I did not understand the hype of these shows. Dragon Ball Z always looked kinda weird to me. I never understood why someone would watch 10 hours of them just talking to each other. It didn't help Dragon Ball Z only being podcasted on RTL 2. Besides Pokémon and Digimon, there was not much to watch on there for me. Naruto had the same destiny. Or did Naruto air on Nick? I can't even remember because I didn't care the slightest about that guy. The only thing I know about Naruto is the Mimish run. Avatar: The Last Airbender is another entry in this list of overly popular kid cartoons that I just did not care about. Combining Victorious, Ben 10, Dexter's Lab, The Replacements, Rugrats, Tom and Jerry, and the Wizards of Waverly Place into one pot equals a giant portion of kids' television casserole I don't know anything about. Generally speaking, I was not huge on Kika, which is basically the rival kids' TV channel in Germany. I have a theory that there are kids who have watched Kika and become valuable members of the society, doing something with their lives. And then there are kids who have watched Super RTL and started a YouTube channel. On a more positive note, there are many shows I really liked as a kid or teen. I watched both the cartoon and live action series of Mr. Bean. I remember owning VHS tapes of Timon and Pumbaa, as well as enjoying a lot of Blue's Clues when I was younger. I'm also holding fond memories of the Goof Troop, Gummy Bears, Camp Laszlo, The Suit Life of Zack and Cody, and Angry Beavers. I think the latter is also the reason for the person I am now. Further, Disney's House of Mouse almost made it into the category of kids shows I love. The concept of Disney being a cinema and the characters being actors is great, but remember there being a lot of reruns which tarnishes my memory of it. Lastly, in 9th or 10th grade I started enjoying American Dad, which is Family Guy but with better characters. However, not only the content of the show was important to me, a big part of enjoying kids shows were the intros and themes. Dave the Barbarian looks very generic, but remember the catchy tune as of today. Ba, barbarian, ba ba, barbarian, ba, barbarian, ba ba, barbarian. Danny Phantom might have the most badass bass line in all of television. The plot of the series is great too, but that freaking bass, oh my god. Disney produced a lot of TV shows with awesome tunes too. Chip 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 and Dale, Rescue Rangers, Darkwing Duck, let's get dangerous. The dinosaurs, pop 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 pop. Pinky and the Brain, as well as pop 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 pop. Oh yeah, tailspin, oh yeah, tailspin. Na 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 na. I think the last one works better in German. Before we continue, a word from my sponsor. Joke. Nobody's sponsoring this crap. Yet. I call the next category Hidden Gems and Guilty Pleasures. TV shows that are widely underrated or I enjoyed as a kid and would never publicly admit to. Wait. Isn't this YouTube video public now? Damn. Starting with The American Dragon, a show in which Jake Long has to prove his granddad that he can live up to his family's legacy by trying to bang a chick whose family is in the dragon hunting business. We've all been there. Staying with the dragon concept, Dragon Hunters was a crucial part of my childhood, having owned DVD sets and an amazing video game of the series. My mom even wanted to name our family dog after Crystal. Now his name is Max, and no, it's not related to Goofy's son. Dragon Hunter also had the Monster of the Week theme, which is an essential part of Supernatural. The same goes for Xantrix, a fighting robot show from France? There's a question mark in my script, so past YouTubers doesn't know either. All that I remember is that the show ran before school, and I missed like the last few episodes and never found the TV series again. Another TV show that I thought I would never see again is X-Ducks. This show was about two ducks who did extreme sports. And it is a French production as well? What the hell? I make so many jokes about my neighbors, and apparently I like their shows. Weird. The Donkey Kong Country Kids show, on the other hand, was also partly produced in France? Are you kidding me? The next entry is Norman Normal, which has been created in Ireland, Germany and France. I swear, if any other TV series in this category has been produced by the French, I will stop the video right here. Duck might look kinda boring to a lot of people, but I was a fan of it back then, and no way. The first season was produced in the United States, and the second to fourth in France again? Okay, bye. Okay, fine, I will continue. Duck was great because of the real life topics it was dealing with, like bullying and low self-esteem. To round the section up, Monster by Mistakes looks horribly, but I kinda dig it. Look at the ghost playing the trombone. Enough of the positivity, now we get into the TV series I really hated. I mean, for some masochistic reason I watched them, but deep down I would have rather scratched out my eyes and let cartoonishly big anvil fall onto my head. I felt disgust when looking at advertisements for Lazy Town, and the Goody Good Pants morale was terrible. Let's go, Sportacus! We must stop eating sugar candies and do exercise with little kids! Totally stranger danger if you ask me. And Robbie Rotten was the hero, changed my mind. Then we have the wacky world of Tex Avery. This wannabe Looney Tunes and Mickey Mouse show was wild and could not be aired today. So inappropriate. And finally, you were all waiting for it. Angela Anaconda. The theme song, the character design, the French. If my sleep paralysis demon ever visits me again, I would show Angela Anaconda to it and make it run away screaming in fear and anxiety. I don't know who thought this style of kids show would fly with anyone giving a rat's tails about their lives. I hope I will never see this cursed imagery ever again. Didn't that feel pretty good? Yeah? Well, let's leave all these negative emotions behind us and think about all the TV series I loved as a child. As a dog lover, 101 Dalmatians should not be missing from this tier list. While the original movie focused on the parents and their parents, the TV series gave the puppies individual personalities and most importantly a talking cock. I mean chicken, you perverts. Another great Disney show has been Recess. It seems that there's a lot of love for TJ and his friends around YouTube, and that for a good reason. The show focused on the best parts of school and dealt with topics like being new at the school or starting a monarchy with younger pupils. Powerpuff Girls and Jimmy Neutron are not only important for today's memes culture, but were also watched a lot by yours truly. Especially crossover episodes with Tammy Turner blew my mind as a kid and was the first time I realized many series were produced by the same company. At least, I was smart enough to understand that DuckTales and Goof Troop played in the same universe as well. DuckTales was great, and I think the Mickey Mouse magazine and books were also part of that narrative. Fun fact, the German synchronization put Goofy and Pluto into the theme song and watched all episodes hoping they would appear. Growing up, I also started watching Family Guy and South Park, which you might be able to trace back in the kind of jokes I'm making. While cutaway gags are often ridiculed, I like that sort of situation comedy. For South Park, I shouldn't have been able to watch that show when I was 13 or 14. However, Nickelodeon and Comedy Central shared a channel in Germany back then, as nowadays I would watch both TV series with a different mindset and understanding. Pokémon had been a cartoon I started to appreciate very late during my school career, which is ironic for this channel having mentioned the biggest franchise ever in almost every video. When I was younger, I actually preferred Digimon until season 3, where I started playing Pokémon Fire Red and Yellow, and the rest is history. Maybe I should do a video on why I love Pokémon that much. Maybe. But most certainly I will advance to the TV shows that made me the person that I am today. TV shows that I think of and can say, yep, I loved them. With me being an animal lover, Stanley was one of my favorite shows in primary school. It was not only entertaining and had a great theme, but was also highly educational for something that would air on Super RTL. This had also been the TV debut of Klaus from American Dad. Two other TV shows I was binging during 3rd or 4th grade have been The Weekenders and What's with Andy. Both series had their own charm, with one being rather playful and the other one more mischievous. Andy was the prototype for YouTube pranksters. Disney's Fillmore was another key cartoon in my childhood. It was just so cool. Detective work during school time, amazing chases through the building, and a lot of drama. This show really hit hard, and it gave me the impression that American schools had tons of money. How wrong I was about that, lol. The next entry is Lilo and Stitch, which did not take advantage of the Pokémon hype. How cool would have been a video game which you could catch and train all 626 plus experiments. Again, the Monster of the Week concept was strong in this one, and Stitch might be able to kick Pikachu's ass. Transition! Rufus is also red, but with less electricity running through his vein. Yes, Rufus from Kim Possible. I think this reigns in the same area as Fillmore, having kick-ass students doing awesome stuff, and Chico being a crush for both boys and girls. Now that little YouTubers has graduated from primary school and moved on to crippling depression, I mean gymnasium, his tastes and needs changed too. For starters, he needed Fairly Odd Parents as well. The series might have followed the same principle of Timmy getting into trouble, wishing for something to solve the problem, regret, and finding a solution on his own, but the storylines inside the shows were manifold, until Cosmo and Wanda had a child. Fairly Odd Parents also had great characters like Mr. Crocker, Crimson Chin, Joaquin von Strange, Chad Upecha, Rondissimo, Magnifico, and Dingleberg! Okay, maybe not the last one. Hey, only 3 more shows left! Let's stay with Nickelodeon and talk about SpongeBob SquarePants. The show had caused my mom not granting me permission to watch television after 8 PM for some time. In hindsight, I can completely understand her. This show was wacky, wild and weird, and everyone has turned to Squidward by now. Many episodes are iconic for all the good reasons, and some not so much. Most importantly, SpongeBob might be the one cartoon that inspired as many memes as no other. Thank you, you yellow square Swiss cheese. I have mentioned the Monster of the Week trope a lot in this video, and the one TV series that has pioneered this trope was certainly Scooby-Doo. I watched the original TV series because my parents brought me the VHS tapes of it. I watched both movies in the cinema. I even watched the newer versions on television. Scooby-Doo has been around for 50 years and produced good shows like Mystery Incorporated, as well as weird stuff like Scooby-Doo and Velma, but not even the show built around the dog was able to be the most influential TV show of your dubious teenage life. It is yellow, makes fun of everyone, and sometimes is hard to understand. No, not the Minions, The Simpsons. Everybody knows them, everybody thinks the older seasons are way better than the newer ones, and they might be right. Every evening I would start watching The Simpsons on ProSieben after news time around 1807. Then I would continue watching it on DVD. I bought so many of the DVD sets. I didn't know what Netflix was back then, I'm sorry. The best thing was, even my mom liked it. We went to the movies together, she brought me the video games, we kinda bonded while watching The Simpsons. Which makes me very sentimental right now, guys. So, yes. The Simpsons might not be the most unknown or exciting TV show, but I attribute a lot of good memories to it. In general, Doing research for this video has been great and sent me down memory lane. I honestly forgot about a lot of those TV series, and watching their entries or simply looking at the covers made me think about the days where the only problem in my life was the time my toilet breaks accordingly to not miss the next episode. Until then, bye bye!